Hi, I'm Dr. Eric Fields. Today's topic is knowing when we need help. As a mental health clinician for over the last 20 years, I can definitely attest to the fact that people are much more willing nowadays to accept help from professionals. 20 years ago, not everybody was so keen on pursuing therapy or seeking mental health providers when they were struggling with, certain types of personal issues. And nowadays, people are a lot more amenable to this kind of support, which is a great thing. It's one of the few positives that happened with COVID. Um, you know, People were all experiencing a lot more struggles emotionally, socially, and everything else with the advent of COVID and became more receptive to help. And I think that is one of the positives that came about with the whole pandemic for sure. So that's a great thing. However, that doesn't mean that everybody's on board with getting help. And the thing that holds people back from getting the help that they truly need and deserve are these feelings that reaching out to a professional to get help is a sign of weakness. It's a sign that I failed, I've given up, and now I need to enlist help. I wasn't able to do it on my own. And so, therefore, um, you know, that says something negative about me. When in actuality, a sign of strength is knowing when we need help and being receptive to that type of help. So, what I want everyone to really start thinking about is what is holding you back from getting help with this? If you can do it on your own, then that's great. But there's nothing wrong with needing help. And if you haven't been able to stay accountable to your weight loss goals, if you haven't been able to stay motivated, if you've struggled with a food dependency issue, and you haven't been able to break this unhealthy pattern on your own, there's absolutely nothing wrong with seeking help. And as I stated before, it's really a sign of strength. Knowing that we need the help and doing something about it, that is as important as doing it on our own, because both are very positive types of behaviors, right? So that, yes, certainly we're always going to have the knee jerk reaction of, let me try to do this on my own without anyone's help. And we've been conditioned that way when we were kids, right? Our well-intentioned parents many a times would say things like, "Oh, why don't you give it a shot on your own before asking for my help? Or why don't you give it a try first?" Teachers would say this to us too, right? Why don't you try the problem first before asking for my help? And, that was a good practice because what it was helping us learn is to try to be more independent and to not give up so easily. But I think that's been ingrained in our minds to such a degree that we've equated that with it's never a good thing to need somebody's help. And that is not true at all. That certainly you want to try to do things on your own. You want to try, to solve your own problems first. But if the problem is unsolvable on your own, or it's you're just not able to do something about it as effectively as you need to without support, then to continue to try to do something about this problem and keep failing, to me, that's a real sign of weakness. Where I would look at another person that tries a couple times, and then finally says, you know what? I need professional help with this. I need somebody that really knows about these struggles. I've tried it on my own, but I didn't go to school for it. I don't have special training in this. And so therefore, I need to enlist the help of a professional. And that's where people like me come in. A weight loss consultant who has an extensive background in psychology. I have a doctoral degree in psychology. I'm a licensed psychologist in New York. I've been practicing for over 20 years, and I've been helping people for a long time deal with these issues. And there's nothing wrong with needing somebody's help, such as mine. So, what can a professional helper do for you in terms of helping you lose the weight and keep it off for good? Well, if it's psychological, which my suspicion is that it is for you, as it is for most of us who have had long-standing weight control issues, then it would stand to reason that you need the help of somebody with a background in psychology, but somebody not only with a background in psychology, but understands weight loss issues as they relate to psychology. My approach is all based on the psychology of weight loss. And not only am I here to help people break that unhealthy dependency on food, which really is 90% of the issue. Once you do that, you can stick to any plan or diet that you create very easily. But it's also to make you accountable. Having done therapy for many, many years, I can tell you that some of the magic of therapy is simply having to be accountable to this other person that we meet with regularly, whether that be weekly or bi-weekly or what have you. That's some of the magic of therapy, to say, hey, I asked for help and this person is giving me strategies. And if I don't try these strategies and skills, if I don't practice this, if I don't do what they're suggesting, then I have to meet with them and basically say to them that I didn't do anything you told me to do. And it's hard to complain to somebody when they've given you these tools to use and you haven't even tried them. Now, that's very different from somebody who comes back to me the following week and says, I tried everything you told me to and it didn't work. And then that's different, right? That's like, all right, let's go back to the drawing board and come up with a new strategy and plan, which happens from time to time for sure. But the accountability aspect is really, really key, that that you've enlisted the help of this person, you've asked for the help of this person, and now you'll be meeting with them regularly, and they're going to be assessing whether or not you're doing what you need to be doing. And that can be really motivating. Not in the sense that you're scared of them lambasting you or coming down on you for not doing what you were supposed to be doing. That's not my role. I don't do that. But it's more of like being self-conscious about it, and being like, geez, here we are meeting again, and I didn't really do anything that we went over the last time. And, it doesn't make you feel so good to not be taking action and using strategies that potentially can really help you, right? So the accountability aspect is really big. And just having a teammate, I think that's like the most important part of that relationship, that there's a teammate, there's somebody working with you in collaboration to help you get to where you need to be. You've heard that old expression, right? Two minds are better than one. And that's true, right? There's two minds working together, problem solving, figure out why you're struggling. One coming from an expert standpoint that has a lot of knowledge and training, and then the other person coming from the standpoint that they know themselves really well and they're able to participate in that relationship in a way that makes it super, super productive, with the two people working together, coming from those different vantage points, an expert in this area, an expert on themselves, the person. So that's really key. And I can tell you, just knowing that you have that support, it's why a lot of people really like to do personal training because they have that person that makes them accountable, that's working with them. But this is much better than that because this isn't just, somebody helping you with exercise, which is, great. But if you're watching this video, if you've been watching my videos and what I'm saying resonates with you, then you know that the personal trainer is not somebody you need. You need somebody to really fix a relationship with food and get you on track. And so I'm going to end with this. If you've been so resistant and hesitant to seek out help for these weight loss issues, I want you to ask yourself why. Why are you so hesitant to seek out help? I'll have more to say tomorrow. Stay tuned. This is Dr. Eric Fields.